Today we're going to feature Aaron's 2017 Rubicon Recon. Aaron's had this Jeep for a few years now, but is slowly building it up to what you see here today. This rig has come a long way. He had 37s and Rubicon Recon axles that had been re-geared and a few other items, but those axles and wheels and tires were sold, so it sat up here for several months before we were able to finally get it in to the shop. What he's done is he purchased a wrecked, used set of Elite axles from the Rock Dock Jeep that was totaled here several years ago, about 2 years ago, I guess. And what he's done is we got a new housing from Dynatrack for the front to replace that broken housing where the tube literally just ripped out of the center section, and then put it all back together. So this Jeep has 488s, ARBs, a Dana 80, a Dana 60, Metal Cloak front fenders, Evo rock skins, VKS standard sliders, Evo corners with Metal Cloak flares welded on. So we'll get you up close here of that. So those fenders were welded on. The tail lights are max built trail tail. Those were modified. There's a 4.5-inch hole in these builder corners for flush mount lights. We made a little plate. Jesse's done most of the work on this one, as most of the big builds we do here. Aluminum Genrite carrier. You can follow him on Instagram. I think it's Red Rocker JK possibly. But Genrite aluminum tire carrier. Poison Spider BFH bumper with the heavy duty cross member beneath with some rigid SR6 diffused lens lights. It's also got some, I believe those are APOC Industries back when they did lighting. That's a set of APOC cubes. 3-gallon Rotopacks for long trips. He bought a set of these wheels, were actually the Spider Lock wheels with the big ring with the star, and he had the Spider Lock part machined to where they look like a slab now. So, you know, the wheels are the same, but the rings were the Spider Lock rings that was machined down, and then all that stuff was painted and put back on. So this one has an Evo high clearance long arm. You can see how the suspension is tucked up really tight. Nothing really hangs down there. We'll go around the back side. So Metal Cloak track bar. The coil perches have been rotated so that they don't bow the spring. Metal Cloak bump stops, Metal Cloak brake lines, some Fox 2.0 shocks. Now this is the Evo high clearance. It's intended to be used with the Evo lever. So we got these shock mounts from AccuTune, and then up here up top, we've got some synergy brackets that move those shocks up and to the rear. So that's a cool little feature. So the shock mounts do hang down a little bit, but not terribly far, nowhere near as much as those factory shocks would be. Again, we've got some VKS sliders and Evo skins. He already had Poison Spider fenders before, so we retrofitted those to work with his Metal Cloak fenders so he didn't have to buy new ones. It's got a Curry anti-rock, the new forged anti-rock front sway bar. It's got our remote fitting cover, our Sherman cap right there. His disconnect for his air compressor hose hooks onto that when the cover's off. A Warren Xeon 12 winch. This is the one that had the cable in it, but we yanked the cable off, and he got some Master Pull Superline XD, so that's the best rope money can buy there. A rigid SR10 light for the front. It's got our Fairlead and a Factor 55 flat link E. This one had factory fog LEDs in the grill, but we added the little Raptor-esque kit with the 3 running lights there in the grill. And then put some JW speaker fog lights in this Poison Spider BFH bumper. You can see he's already had this thing out a few times and got some rash on that diff cover. This one has RCBs, fabricated tie rod over the knuckle with a bottom mount Yeti XD drag link, PSC big bore hydro assist steering. We'll get up in here to where you can see mountain off-road skid plate for the engine and transmission, and of course that Evo high clearance long arm on the front section as well. We also added a front camera, and it is tucked way up here under the front. You can see that under the fairlead. So from the side of the vehicle, it would be really, really hard to damage that camera.
Oh, he's coming this way.
Okay, sidetracked here. The Osmo killed over on me. This one has the rock hard cage. This was at a Check Boy's Jeep, so Check Boy got a Genrite cage and Aaron got his old cage. We just had to send it all off, get it stripped from the red and powder coated BK 109 black. Oh yeah, JCR half doors, aluminum half doors with the armrests. Rugged radios, antenna, with some nice Squadron Sport lights. This one has the Switch Pros. So factory had a Rubicon switch here that leaves a little gap, so we got a filter plate and then mounted the Switch Pro to that. Air compressor, front locker, rear locker, front camera, turn on, rock lights, rear lights, A-pillars, and light bar. So every switch, not normally do we use all 8 switches when we first install one of those, but he found something to occupy all that. But factory integrated cameras into the original navigation unit. Got a Carolina Metal Masters grab bar. So that one is 1-inch ball on the passenger side so that you can have an X grip for your passenger's phone, and then a 1.5-inch ball mount on the driver's side for a large tablet. 60-watt radio, rugged radio up top on the cage. You can see some old holes from where Yara had in this cage in the Check Boy Jeep. Really a solid rig. It looks awesome with those 40s and Dana 80, Dana 60, long arm, beautiful Jeep. But give him a shout out there. It's Red Rocker JK on Instagram, and hit him up for a ride if you're in the Royal Blue, Windrock, East Tennessee area. That's probably about all we've got for this installment of his rig. Give us a shout for some cool builds for your Jeep. JK, JL, TJ, LJ, whatever, XJ even. We've got an XJ expert on hand now. XJ Drew. But anyway, sweet rig. Aaron has been a good customer, and that rig is very capable and awesome. So, all right, guys, have a great day. Let us know if you need anything.
Damn, nice job.
Really nice.